Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world without any doubt. They are the team with the most Champions League titles to their name, with 14. So many icons of the game have worn the famous white shirt and the iconic Champions League winning seasons they had, like winning the 3-peat under Zinedine Zidane. However, today we will be talking about their iconic and miraculous run in the 2021-2022 season, where they pulled off an absolute miracle in winning the Champions League trophy. The 2021-2022 season was a brilliant season, the first season after the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown football period. So much happened in that season. Messi left Barcelona, which broke the whole football world, and joined PSG, which I'm still in shock to till this day. Cristiano Ronaldo rejoined Manchester United, but mainly the fans were back in the stadium, which everyone loves. However, the highlight of that season was when Real Madrid won the Champions League, the team of miracles as they were known. The iconic run they pulled off and the amount of miracles they pulled off in those games, with Courtois having the game of his life in the final. Today, we'll be recalling all that and going down memory lane. Going into the 21-22 season, Real Madrid were in a bit of a transitional period. After losing out on the La Liga title to city rivals Atletico Madrid and getting knocked out in the Champions League semi-finals to Chelsea, changes happened at the Spanish club. Zinedine Zidane ended up leaving the club, and Carlo Ancelotti was appointed. Not just that, Rafael Varane was sold to Manchester United, and Sergio Ramos was let go on a free. The two key defenders in Real Madrid's old guard dominance gone in a single transfer window. On top of that, the two young stars for the future, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, were struggling with consistency in their game. With all this put into account, Ancelotti had a very tough job on his hands in his first season back at the Spanish club. On top of this too, Real Madrid actually ended up having a very disappointing, underwhelming transfer window. Compared to all the Hollywood star signings that the other teams were making in the window, Real Madrid were a bit quiet in terms of arrivals at the Spanish club. The club only ended up spending 30 million in the entire window, with all of that money being spent on young French midfielder Eduardo Camavinga, a promising player bought in to be a future star for the Madridistas. David Alaba was also another player bought in on a free transfer from Bayern Munich to partner Eder Militao in the defense. The club ended up having made more money in player sales than money spent on new transfers. The club didn't end up doing that much in the transfer window due to financial problems that they were facing, so Ancelotti had to make use of the squad that he had at his disposal and get the best out of them. Going into the new season, the expectations are always high at Real Madrid, as no matter what has happened in the transfer window or who has departed the club, you are still expected to compete for top honors. Tactically, Ancelotti mainly played a 4-3-3 with Valverde mainly playing right wing. Real Madrid wouldn't be a team that would play a high press and would often play a mid-block in most games, looking to use individual moments of quality and transitional play to score the goals. Against the stronger teams, Real Madrid would often play a low block, with the formation sometimes even changing to the 5 at the back, with Carvajal dropping into centre back and Valverde becoming a right wing back. Real Madrid actually started the La Liga season really well, as in the first couple of months into the league, they found themselves top of the league, and that too with a significant margin, as Barcelona and Atletico Madrid were really struggling with consistency and Real Madrid pounced on that. Vinicius Jr. was having the season of his life, as he was looking like a completely different player under Ancelotti compared to what he was under Zidane. Same with Karim Benzema, as he was also completely shining under Ancelotti, becoming a crucial player for Madrid. It looked like Real Madrid from the beginning of the season were on course to win La Liga. However, in the Champions League, many were not so sure. Going into any Champions League season, Real Madrid are always considered favourites. However, not this time. So many top teams had incredible transfer windows, with almost all of them signing an absolute superstar player. Manchester City, Chelsea, PSG, Manchester United, and Liverpool were all favourites ahead of Real Madrid. Real Madrid were put in a group consisting of Inter Milan, Sheriff, and Shakhtar Donetsk. Madrid were the favourites to top the group, which they did with 5 wins and only 1 loss, earning 15 points and a spot in the round of 16. Normally, teams that top their group tend to get an easy draw in the round of 16. However, this was not the case for Real Madrid, as they ended up drawing PSG. PSG are always a tough team. However, this season they were the heavy favourites to win the competition, as they had an absolute monster of a transfer window, bringing in Donnarumma, Hakimi, Sergio Ramos, and of course the GOAT, Lionel Messi himself. On top of that, they already had stars like Neymar, Mbappe, Verratti, and Di Maria. is the kind of squad you would see on FIFA career mode, however it was in real life. PSG dominated the game as Madrid played a low block and barely generated any chances. PSG got a penalty and Messi stepped up. An easy goal, right? Well, you're wrong. Courtois saved the penalty, which would prove to be a massive save in the tie for Real Madrid. PSG ended up winning the first leg 1-0 with a moment of brilliance from Mbappe at the final minutes of the game. However, the second leg at the Bernabeu was absolutely spicy. Madrid this time weren't playing a low block and were actually generating chances, however found themselves 1-0 down at halftime and 2-0 down on aggregate. PSG seemed to be through until they performed one of the biggest bottle jobs since. PSG bottled a 4-0 lead to Barcelona. A howler from Donnarumma as he passed the ball straight to Vinicius Jr., who passed it to Benzema for an easy tap-in. 15 minutes later, Karim Benzema scored again, equalizing the tie to 2-2 on aggregate. Then literally a minute after that, Marquinhos clears the ball straight to Benzema, which he takes advantage of and completes his hat-trick. Incredible. Real Madrid turned the whole tie to their favor, being 2-0 down on aggregate at halftime to make it 3-2 within the space of 45 minutes. They held on and won. Madrid produced a miracle and were on their way to the quarterfinals, whilst PSG had bottled again. The quarterfinals wouldn't get easier though for Madrid, as this time they were paired up with the holders, Chelsea themselves. Chelsea were going into this game strong and they were on good form as well, and again, they were seen as favorites to win the whole competition. However, Madrid got a very big win in London. The first leg ended 3-1 in favor of Real Madrid, with Karim Benzema once again scoring a hat-trick. However, the second leg was probably one of the best games I have ever seen. Chelsea went to Madrid 3-1 down and knew they had nothing to lose and went for the game. Mason Mount scored to make it 1-0, then Antonio Rudiger scored in the second half from a corner kick to equalize the tie to 3-3 on aggregate. They surely couldn't, could they? Then Timo Werner, of all players, scored to make it 3-0 to Chelsea and 4-3 on aggregate in favor of Chelsea. Incredibly, Chelsea had done a remontada at the Bernabeu. Were Real Madrid actually going to pull off a PSG over here? Nope. Literally 5 minutes after Timo Werner scored, Modric provided a beautiful Trivela pass for Rodrigo to score. It was 4-4 on aggregate and the game went to extra time, where Karim Benzema, again, scored the winner. Real Madrid won the tie 5-4 on aggregate. But seriously, what a game this was. Real Madrid were through to the semi-finals, and Chelsea, well, I don't think they ever left Madrid because I think that Chelsea team died in Madrid and never came back to London. The semi-finals were even harder for Real Madrid, as this time, it was Manchester City in their way. Manchester City are a very, very good side. However, the games that happened in the two legs were absolute Champions League drama. The first leg was in Manchester, with this game being a whole back and forth game. One team would score and the other would score back right away. City started really strong, as 11 minutes into the game they found themselves 2-0 up. Madrid scored soon after, with Benzema going into halftime. The second half, Foden scored to make it 3-1, then Vinicius Jr. did an absolute nasty nutmeg on Fernandinho, getting past him and going all the way to make it 3-2. I remember watching that goal till this day, and I was going absolutely crazy. My man Vinicius Jr. really sent Fernandinho to retirement. Bernardo Silva scored to make it 4-2, before Madrid were given a penalty which Benzema scored after doing a Panenka on Ederson to make it 4-3. Wow, what a game that was. But just wait, if you think that was a good game, the second leg gets even spicier. City went to the Bernabeu ahead on aggregate by only 1 goal. The game started pretty slow compared to the first leg, as both teams were generating chances but couldn't score. That was until the 73rd minute when Riyad Mahrez scored to give City the lead and made it 5-3 on aggregate. At this point, everyone thought it was over. Fans started to leave early, as no way City were bottling a 2-goal lead on aggregate, especially in the dying minutes of the game. Well, Carlo Ancelotti raised his eyebrow and the drama began. In the 90th minute, Benzema whipped in a ball for Rodrigo to score past Ederson to make it 1-1 and 5-4 on aggregate. With a few minutes of stoppage time left, they surely couldn't, could they? Well, Dani Carvajal received the ball and puts in a glorious cross for Rodrigo, which he heads past Ederson to take the game to extra time. Wow, incredible. No one could believe it. Pep Guardiola was left absolutely stunned after seeing his side bottle the lead, and Ancelotti, well, he just stood there calm as a cucumber. The game went to extra time and Real Madrid were awarded a penalty. Benzema stepped up and scored to make the game 3-1 and gave Real Madrid the lead on aggregate for the first time in the tie. The game ended 3-1 and the tie itself ended 6-5 in favor of Real Madrid. Wow. Real Madrid are the team of miracles. They just kept pulling miracles after miracles after miracles out on their run to the final. Real Madrid were off to France for the final, where they played Liverpool, a rematch of the 2018 final, with the Reds looking for revenge. This time, Liverpool did not have Karius in goal, so Real Madrid would actually have to work to score their goals. The game started and Liverpool were the dominant team. Real Madrid played pragmatically and let Liverpool dominate possession and chances. Liverpool in that game had so many chances, however Courtois was having the game of his life, saving every single shot. He was at times the one-man defense for Madrid. Then, Madrid's opportunity came, as Valverde drove an attack forward and put in a dangerous ball for Vinicius Jr., which he put past Alisson to make it 1-0. Liverpool kept creating chances but Courtois would not let them pass. Liverpool had 9 attempts on target that entire game, with Courtois saving every single one of them. The game ended 1-0 and they did it. Real Madrid were the champions of Europe once again. Crazy how going into the season Real Madrid had an underwhelming transfer window and no one really put them as favorites to win the Champions League. However, credit has to go to Carlo Ancelotti for the work he did. How he was able to see through the transition period, see through a poor transfer window, and improve a lot of underperforming players and guide his team to glory through his tactics. It's crazy to think that Ancelotti, a year before, he was at an average Everton team that finished mid-table. Fast forward a year later, and he won the Champions League with Real Madrid. Shows you what an incredible manager that guy is. Anyways, that is a wrap for this video. Let me know in the comments, what did you guys think about Real Madrid and their iconic run to win the Champions League? And where would you rank it among the other top teams that have won the Champions League? Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, help the channel grow, help your boy out. If you have any other video ideas for me, just like this one, hit me up in the comment section. I'm always looking them out. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Take care.